Conference.
Mabuhay Kamustapo. Selamat datang. Welcome to the opening ceremony of a conference which is organized by Invest Selangor Berhad in conjunction with Selangor International Business Summit 2017. The 2 days conference brings together prominent speakers and business leaders from different backgrounds and diverse sectors from ASEAN and ASEAN Dialogue Partner countries. Welcome to the opening ceremony of Selangor ASEAN Business Conference 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, to begin and to speak further about this conference, may I now invite Yang Berhormat Datuk Teng Chang Kim, Selangor State Senior Executive Councillor, Chairman of Investment, Industry and Commerce, Small and Medium Enterprises, SME and Transportation, to deliver this opening speech.
Datuk Sri Muhammad Azmi bin Ali, Datuk Menteri Besar Selangor, Chief Minister of Selangor, my fellow State Executive Councillors, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Hassan Azhari Haji Idris, CEO of Invest Selangor, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Dr. Muhammad Munir Abdul Majid, Chairman of the ASEAN Business Advisory Council Malaysia Chapter, Your Excellencies, High Commissioners, Ambassadors and representatives from High Commissions and Embassies, and ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Selangor ASEAN Business Conference. This is the second component of our 10-day event of Selangor International Business Summit. We had completed our first programs 2 days ago, namely Smart City and Future Commerce Convention, which was a great success with 60 speakers from all over the world sharing their expertise and experience, with a total of 3,000 forum participants and 5,000 of exhibition visitors in 3 days. The third Selangor International Expo will be held after this conference from 14 to 17 September, featuring products and services from the sectors of food and beverages, life sciences, and halal. The order of sequence of the 3 programs does not reflect the order of importance of the events. In fact, this conference is undoubtedly of paramount importance. It will provide guidance and directions to the ASEAN business entities and communities, the way forward and upward. Ladies and gentlemen, although China has been the Goliath of emerging markets and will certainly remain so in the next couple of years, investors and multinationals are increasingly turning their attention to ASEAN, as the region is fast becoming one of the major global hubs of manufacturing and trade, as well as one of the fast-growing consumer markets in the world. ASEAN, with 620 million of population, is a market of choice for many businesses, with rapid development and progress giving rise to a huge consumer base possessing stronger and stronger purchasing power. It was reported that some 227 of the world's largest companies are based in ASEAN, and it is understandable why more companies will be looking to get a foothold in the region. However, there are challenges aplenty facing the ASEAN countries and market. Being multicultural, multilingual, and multi-religious, and with different stages and levels of economic development, the issues are far more complicated than what we will be able to deliberate in one conference alone. In today's digital technology advancement, no one can work in silo. That applies to the various business communities in ASEAN countries. We need to talk to each other. We need to complement each other, and therefore, concrete plans and strategies are needed for further cooperations and collaborations. We may have an ASEAN economic community structure, but that is only the basic. To build an ASEAN integrated economy, effort is needed at the level of business communities. Leaving it to the governmental level alone certainly will not be efficient and effective. As such, with great pleasure, Selangor has initiated and is prepared to offer this conference as an annual forum, annual platform for the ASEAN business communities together with the government sectors to share, deliberate, and collaborate for the multilateral benefits of the ASEAN business communities. Both the business communities within and outside ASEAN will find this platform a perfect one to further understand and explore the business and investment opportunities in the ASEAN market. Needless to say, this platform will also certainly serve as a business meeting point of the East and West. Under the leadership of our Chief Minister, Selangor is ambitious to be the global trading hub, and we are in the midst of establishing Selangor as the ASEAN business capital. Truly reflects the role of Selangor as a gateway to ASEAN. But again, I must stress, Selangor is unable to do it by itself. It is the total strength of ASEAN business communities that will make ASEAN a great success and beneficial for all. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to announce that at the last count, there will be 22 renowned speakers in this conference, and they are from United Kingdom, China, and 8 ASEAN countries, namely Thailand, Singapore, Philippines, Myanmar, Vietnam, Laos, Indonesia, and Malaysia. An international golf tournament where His Royal Highness Raja Muda of Selangor has agreed to grace the event has also been arranged to allow corporate leaders, ambassadors, high commissioners, and other prominent personalities from Malaysia and the region to continue their business discussion in a more relaxed manner. Of course, not forgetting the Selangor ASEAN Business Award 2017 ceremony to be held in conjunction with the gala dinner on September 15, where Selangor-born entrepreneurs and those who have been operating their businesses in Selangor for a couple of years will be awarded for their achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, lastly, I would like to thank all parties, especially ASEAN Business Advisory Council Malaysia Chapter and MATRIC, which has given us full support and cooperation to make this Selangor ASEAN Business Conference a reality. Thank you very much also for your presence this morning, and I sincerely hope that you will continue to support us in our endeavor of bringing ASEAN to a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, Yang Berhormat Dato' Teng Chang Kim, Selangor State Senior Executive Councillor, Chairman of Investment, Industry and Commerce, Small and Medium Enterprises and Transportation, for the welcoming speech. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now our singular honor and privilege to invite Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin bin Ali, Datuk Menteri Besar Selangor, Chief Minister of Selangor, to present his speech and officiate Selangor ASEAN Business Conference 2017.
Yang Berhormat Datuk Teng Chang Kim, Senior Executive Councillor, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Hassan Azhari Haji Idris, CEO of Invest Selangor, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Dr. Muhammad Munir Abdul Majid, Chairman of ASEAN Business Advisory Council Malaysian Chapter, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all of you. Alhamdulillah, we meet in exciting times as ASEAN is enjoying healthy and robust economic growth compared to other parts of the world. We meet at a time when intra-ASEAN relations are experiencing greater cementing of neighborly bonds with cultural and trade and commerce exchanges. Indeed, in addition to vibrant enhancement of regional trade and investment, bilateral and multilateral discussions, as well as people-to-people connectedness are on the rise. Coupled with the recent successful conclusion of the SEA Games in Malaysia, these factors should collectively give us all in ASEAN a certain sense of mutual pride and respect and optimism of even better things to come going forward. In this regard, as we look forward to the prospects of the Selangor ASEAN Business Conference, our analysts and number crunchers will undoubtedly also take into account the political and economic risks for multinational businesses in the region. Fortunately, Selangor remains firmly ensconced in this regard, with no imminent threat of immigration surges or high risk of exposure to global financial instability or crisis. As for terrorism threats, our security and intelligence services, particularly the police, have matters well under control. On ASEAN in general, it is no exaggeration to say that as countries in other regions are leaning more and more towards protectionist policies, we are working towards greater integration. Developments in East Asia arising from the actions of North Korea and the reactions from Japan and South Korea cannot be taken for granted. We see the rise of China and the attendant whispers of fear and alarm. But we must also not forget how we in Southeast Asia have been able to leverage on China's growth and in the process benefited immensely. Indeed, we cannot dismiss genuine concerns of any power establishing geopolitical hegemony amidst the tensions and conflicts arising from South China Sea and historically unresolved issues. Nevertheless, we take comfort in the optimism of ASEAN economic integration. Barring the issue of matters that prick our conscience, we should continue with a policy of pragmatism for ASEAN. Speaking on behalf of Selangor, I can vouch for our policy of a very business-friendly administration, which also places great premium on governance, accountability, and transparency in dealings. Selangor ASEAN business will prosper as we in Selangor prime ourselves for transformation into a regional smart state, a premier regional trading hub, and a gateway to Asia. Selangor's unique characteristics with ethnic, language, and religious diversity, and the strength of our unity as a society are attained and maintained under a state administration that espouses a policy of moderation, mutual respect, and justice. Selangor's strategic thrust in the 5 clusters, life sciences, transport equipment, M&E, F&B, and electrical and electronics fit well with the ASEAN's priority sectors on agri-food, healthcare, retail, and logistics. Like ASEAN's other focus, for example, in promoting women in business, young entrepreneurs, and e-commerce, we are also actively pursuing a vibrant women's empowerment agenda and the expansion of SMEs as well as e-commerce, which is the commerce for the future. With regard to entrepreneurship, we set up the Selangor Digital Creative Center to train SMEs to become e-commerce traders and provide co-working space to train startups. In sum, Selangor and ASEAN are well synchronized to move forward for mutually beneficial trade and investment relations across a wide spectrum. This year, we are celebrating 50 years of ASEAN. Compared to any other regional groupings among emerging economies, ASEAN could be considered as a political miracle. One of ASEAN's founding fathers, Dr. Tun Thanat Khoman of Thailand said, with the withdrawal of the colonial powers, there would have been a power vacuum which could have attracted outsiders to step in for political gains, as the colonial masters had discouraged any form of intra-regional contact. The idea of neighbors working together in a joint effort was thus to be encouraged. From its inception as a grouping to assert a zone of peace, freedom and neutrality, to navigate the intricate waters of the Cold War era, ASEAN has grown tremendously, especially in economic, trade and investment terms. ASEAN leaders have injected new substance and impetus to the grouping and established the ASEAN Free Trade Area, or AFTA, in 1992. This has developed into the ASEAN Economic Community with a comprehensive cooperation agenda aimed at making ASEAN a highly integrated regional market and regional production base. With the ASEAN Political Security Community and the ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community, ASEAN is marching forward with a new roadmap toward 2025 with a common aspiration based on one vision, one identity, and one community. I believe that the ASEAN Economic Community is widening and a holistic approach is needed, with services being a central part. Notwithstanding the recent collapse of the TPP, within ASEAN, there is still much room for further walls of tariff to be dismantled. This is essential for greater trade expansion, investment, and the development of human resource. I need to mention, of course, that we are making preparations to meet the new challenges of the fourth industrial revolution, which, as everyone is saying, will be disruptive. This is factored into Selangor's vision for transformation as a regional smart state where new technology and value chains will be disrupted. Therefore, preparation should also be in boosting soft infrastructure of ASEAN, namely education. Selangor places a high premium in this sector. We are the first to have a state fully funded graduate business school to cater for the higher management requirements of an expanding regional economy. At the same time, we are giving new focus to development of technical and vocational training, TVET particularly, for industrial skills. We see this as essential for businesses to grow, where there must be a proper match between educational and skills output with what the industry and the business community needs. In terms of financing, we have gone into an era of much cheaper finance with lower interest rates and generally lower inflation region-wise. There is therefore better prospects for further capitalization of equity markets and areas for financial re-engineering in the banking industry and the bond markets as well. For example, this is sorely needed in sectors such as biotechnology research and the aerospace industry, which, as you know, are some of Selangor's prime strategic focus. Strong areas for growth can also be in hard infrastructure, such as logistics, ports, railroads, highways, and power generation. to conclude, the prospects for ASEAN growth are still there. And while at 5% growth is expectable, I believe there is still much room for further expansion. Enhancement of ASEAN growth naturally would translate into higher growth for GDPs of member states. Our prospects are bright. I'm confident that the ASEAN business community, as represented by you all here today, will be ready and able to reap the opportunities to further boost the ASEAN economy. With this, I have the honor of declaring open the Selangor ASEAN Business Conference 2017. Thank you.
Thank you, Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri, and please remain on stage. And may we invite Yang Berhormat Datuk Teng Chang Kim, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Hassan Azhari Haji Idris, and Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Dr. Muhammad Munir Abdul Majid to accompany Yang Berhormat Datuk Menteri Besar Selangor, Chief Minister of Selangor, in officiating Selangor ASEAN Business Conference 2017. Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri, whenever you're ready, please hit the gong 3 times to mark the opening of Selangor ASEAN Business Conference 2017.